Hey, welcome to Life in the Leadership Lane. I'm your host, Bruce Waller, where I get to talk to leaders that are making a difference in the workplace and in our community. What did they do to get started? And what are they doing to stay there? And oh my goodness, here we are, season seven. I've talked to over 250 guests on my podcast over the last 7 years. And today I thought I would bring you a special episode. I wanted to share some of the things that were on my mind. I've been reflecting over the last week, and I'm getting ready to move into a different lane. I'm getting ready to turn 60. And I thought today I might share 6 lessons over the last 60 years, not necessarily over the last 60 years, but over my career that I don't know might bring some value to you. And I thought, you know what? I've written these down. I've been reflecting and thinking about some of these things. And I thought, well, if, maybe they'll help somebody listening, somebody maybe going through something that I went through, or maybe my kids might enjoy it or my grandkids might enjoy it. So I thought I would record this and I hope you enjoy this. And so I thought I would start off with lesson number one, and that is it's not how you start, it's how you finish. And I heard this saying many years ago, and I heard it from my brother. As I think about it, I was in a job, I was struggling in a job, and I was trying to figure out, I was trying to find my lane. And he had mentioned that, and is like, "Hey, it's okay, just keep going." And there's been several times in my career or my life that this has come to play. The first thing I think about is when my wife and we started dating in college, and then I quit college and we got married, and I started working and we started a family, and then years later she asked me if I was going to finish school, and I went back and I finished college, and I finished 10 years later. I didn't get out of college, 4 or 5 years out. I It took me a while. And so there may be somebody out there today that says, "Hey, I need to go back to school, or I need to go get that certification." And so just remember, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. When I started at the Armstrong Company, I started a newsletter that turned into a blog, that turned into a book, that turned into a podcast. And now I'm speaking across the country. And there's been so many different instances. I remember bowling in the U.S. Open and, starting kind of, I didn't have a strong start. But I finished with a 300 in the last game and made the qualifying round for the U.S. Open, and that was a highlight. There's a verse in the Bible that I always refer to. It's John 13:7, and it says, "Hey, you may not know what I'm doing now, but one day you'll understand." And so just remember, if it's not where you start, it's where you finish. You got to keep going. You got to keep showing up every day. Lesson number two. And this came from my latest book, Drive with Purpose. And I wrote down success is great, but significance is greater. And a lot of people will ask me, "Hey, what's the difference between success and significance?" And when I think about success, I think about that's something that for you, something you're trying to achieve. But significance is something you're doing for others. And I think about, all of the, I don't know, all of the awards I've gotten over the years, which ones mean the most. And it's not the sales performance awards. It's not the awards based on performance. It's the awards based on significance. Remember years ago when I got called for the Unigroup Stewardship Award? That meant a lot to me. And whenever I was a recipient of a Lifetime Achievement Award, just for being involved. And I just think about, it's all about investing in people. And I'm going to talk about more of that. But if you can find a way in your role, in your job, in your church, wherever you're at, to help people, you will understand the power of significance. I call it the power of hope, giving people hope. And that's helping other people every day. And somebody asked me one time, they're like, the thing about it is, though, is that some things you can measure and some things you can't. Significance is one of those things that's hard to measure. And I will challenge them. I'll say, listen, when's the last time you got a text? Like here's what I want to challenge you. Text somebody right now, somebody that you're thinking about that's helped you in your career. I know you're thinking about somebody right now. It may be a coworker, it may be a friend, it may be a family member. There was somebody that helped you. First of all, I want you to text them, and they will appreciate that. But they'll text you back, and it'll mean a lot to you too. But here's where you find out if you're creating significance. And that is when people text you and tell you how much you help them. And so I want to challenge you. Text somebody right now and let them know, hey, you've been significant in my life. You've helped me. And I'd love to hear from you. Send me a note. That would be absolutely fantastic. The third lesson is the title of my first book, Find Your Lane. And I think that's when you really find joy and fulfillment in your career. And this is probably the most popular question I get is, hey, how do you find your lane? Well, how did I find my lane? You try different things. Find your lane is about experiences. I've interviewed so many amazing people over the years on my podcast. And I'll ask them the question, hey, when was that moment when you found your lane, when you found your purpose, when you found your calling? Because that's what gives you joy. That's what creates momentum for you to be a high performer. I would say the majority of people will say, I fell into it. Well, they fell into it because they met someone who introduced them to an opportunity and they took advantage of that opportunity. And then they met someone else, or they learned more, or they expanded their lane, or they owned what they were doing. So me, I started in the moving business in 1995. I was in operations for many, many years. I remember my general manager asking me if I was more operations focused or sales focused, and I told him I was a balance because I really didn't know at the time. And I found my lane though whenever I joined the Armstrong Company, and I moved from an operations to a sales and marketing role. And it just, I don't know, that just everything just opened up for me. I got out and I met people and connected with people, and it led to a lot of really cool opportunities. I have a good friend that always would challenge me, and she'd say, Bruce, when people ask you to do something, say yes. And you just got to do that, and it will lead to the most incredible places. So if you're trying to find your lane, and somebody gives you an opportunity, don't say no, say yes. Go try it. Okay, the fourth lesson is about gratitude. And in my book, Life in the Leadership Lane, I have a full chapter on gratitude, and I do a 1 hour keynote presentation on great leaders or grateful leaders. And I think about gratitude, and it is the ultimate stress reliever. And kind of a story I was thinking about was years ago when the pandemic happened. We were all just that was just such a heavy time for all of us. And I remember having this black cloud over my head during that time. And I was in my home office and I was just really struggling mentally. And I was thinking about this exercise somebody had shared many years ago, and it was basically draw a line down the middle of a piece of paper, and on the left, I want you to write everything you're grateful for, and then when you're done, on the right side of the paper, write all the things that you're struggling with. And so I started writing on the left side of the paper. I started writing about, my health and my family, and my niece was getting married, and another niece was having a baby, and just all these incredible things are going on. Like, I was so grateful for all of these things. And then I finished in the left side of the paper, and I got to the right side, and I think I just wrote down that one thing that I was struggling in my job. And the black cloud just went away. It was like, it's okay. I have so much to be thankful for. So if you're in a challenging place right now, I want to challenge you to that gratitude exercise and write down all the things that you can be grateful for. This is our 250th year for America, the celebration of America, the Declaration of Independence, 1776. Here we are in 2026. I'm so grateful for our country and our freedom. And I'm so grateful for the company I work for. I'm so grateful for all of our leadership in our company that give me the opportunity to do what I'm grateful for our moving crews and our move coordinators. I'm grateful for my customers who they make me better. And I am grateful for my family and friends, of course, and my church and our pastor and all the people that I get to serve with. I'm grateful for all the associations I serve with in the HR and mobility community, Dallas HR and Texas SHRM, and of course, North Texas Relocation Professionals and the Worldwide Employee Relocation Council. We call it WORK. I'm so grateful for serving some of the uh, nonprofits, the Carry the Load organization. I'm grateful for the Blood Care Cancer United. I'm so grateful for so much, so many people that have helped pave the way for me today. I'm grateful for the people that are on my LinkedIn and social media platforms that show me the way, that give me ideas, that are encouraging, that post notes. I'm grateful for all the notes that I've received over the years. I have so much gratitude. The fifth lesson I want to share is your network is your net worth. And I tell people all the time, I've built my business one coffee at a time over over the years. And I share this with many people, and that is, when you're in an event and you look around at all the people that you have an incredible net worth because you can call them right now and say, "Hey, can you help me?" And they will help you. And so in my book, Find Your Lane, I talk about invest in the people zone. You've got to invest and you've got to do that every day. And investing can mean, hey, I'm going to get on social media and I'm going to send someone an encouragement note. I'm going to text somebody something encouraging today. I'm going to take a picture and send that to somebody I'm thinking about today. During the pandemic, I started I don't know, I called it the three text rule. And that was every morning I got up and I sent three texts every day. And I've been doing that since. And it's basically to somebody that's on my mind that I'm thinking about. Hey, I was just thinking about you. Many times I share a video and I'll just get on a video and say, "Hey, I was just thinking about you. I just saw that this particular team play. I know that's your team, or maybe I'm in another state and I know they're from that state. Hey, I'm in the great state of Wisconsin, or I'm in Virginia, or I'm in Salt Lake City. Just thinking about you." And people remember that. And so I want to encourage you. If there's one investment you're going to make in your career, make it in people. It will be the greatest return you'll ever get. It's greater than awards. It's greater than money. It's greater than everything. You just got to invest in people. And when you invest in people, you have to use the 100-0 rule. This is very important. See, this is the part that a lot of people miss. People start investing in people, but when they don't get something back, they quit. And the 100-0 rule is this: give 100% and expect zero. That's it. You see, when you expect somebody to answer back or reply back or do something for you, you start losing sleep when they don't do it. Don't worry about that. You do it because you want to do it. 100-0 rule. Your network is your net worth. Build it. Build it. Build it. Find your tribe. That's where you find joy every day. It's not some days, it's every day. Okay, I'm going to wrap up here with the final lesson. And this is something I read this is something I learned many years ago when I read a book called The Compound Effect. And the lesson is plan your day, but lead your life. And what I mean by that is I read the book The Compound Effect many years ago, and there was a section in there around getting up early, and it was called the 5 a.m. Club. I think there's also a book called the 5 a.m. Club that I've read. I think that was Robin Sharma. But Darren Hardy wrote The Compound Effect, and this is where I really, this is what motivated me to start getting up early. I've been getting up at 5 a.m., not just Monday through Friday, it's 7 days a week to plan my day. And on the weekends, I spend about, 30 minutes planning my week, planning my month ahead. As a matter of fact, if you're listening, you'll have to get on my YouTube. I'm turning my computer right now to my calendar on my wall. I've got a big calendar on my wall that I'm focused on every day, and I'm planning my days. But here's the thing, things happen. You know, you're in sales, you're in HR, you're in management, you're going to school, you have a family, things happen. And so when you plan your day, though, it helps you stay on track. And then when you get off track, hey, you get that phone call that you've got to take care of, or you've got to go out of town, or whatever that commit. When you get back, you're right back in the lane that you need to be in. And when you plan your day, that allows you, okay, now I don't have to worry about what I need to plan ahead. I'm going to start leading my life now. I'm going to lead the way. Like I already know all the tasks that need to be done. I'm going to do all those things. But once you build out that plan and those things that those tasks, if you will, then in all that space that's not taken up, that's where you live. That's where you lead. That's where you block time for thinking. Think, oh, I have a list in my iPhone. It's called my life list. It's 100 achievements in my life, and these are things that I'm really proud of, things that I've achieved, but also things that I would like to achieve. And so when I'm thinking about, I don't know, going on a trip or doing something different, I go to that list and I say, hey, can I cross something off here? And one of the things I want to do is I want to visit all the 50 states. So that's on my list. Hey, I want to visit all 50 states. I want to visit all the presidential libraries. And I want to do all of these different things. I remember when I wanted to run a 5K, it was on there, and I finally ran a 5K. But it was because I had already planned, like, hey, here's the things I want to do. Now I'm going to just lead. And so I'll go back through these here and remember, number one, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. Number two is success is great, but significance is greater. Number three is find your lane. That's where you find joy in every area of your life. Number four is gratitude. Have gratitude. Take the gratitude challenge. And in my book, Life in the Leadership Lane, there's a section at the very end about challenges in gratitude. And then number five is your network is your net worth. And I just want to encourage you just to go out and invest in people. It's an incredible return. And then lastly, plan your day, but lead your life. And you will find so much joy. And I can't wait to hear from you, to watch your road ahead. I just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm grateful for you listening and being part of Life in the Leadership Lane community. I'm so grateful for all the guests that have come on the show. I've learned from each and every one of them. And if you have a comment, I would love to hear from you. You can actually go out to Apple Podcasts and you can put a rating on there. I would love for you to give me a 5-star rating. I would love to see your comment on the show. And if you want to hear more of these types of recordings, let me know. I would love to serve you in any way. I can be reached on a couple different platforms. Number one, LinkedIn. Go out there, connect with me, send me a note. Hey, I heard your 6 lessons on life in the leadership lane. I would love to hear from you. Or you can find out more information, brucewaller.com. There's information there about whether it's my relocation services or my books or my speaking. Of course, the podcast episode is on there as well. I've got a blog on there. Would love for you to subscribe to Move to Inspire. I try to put something out each week or every other week to encourage you in some way. And so I want to hear from you. And lastly, I would love for you to share this episode. And I appreciate you. I'm grateful for you. And I cannot wait to see what's ahead. All right. Keep inspiring everybody. Have a great day.